Imagine landing in a country where every fan gets a free flight, where stadiums float on the ocean, where artificial clouds cool entire cities, and where the FIFA World Cup isn't just the biggest sporting event on Earth, it's the biggest event humanity has ever created. Sounds insane? Well, Qatar already spent around $220 billion on the 2022 World Cup, but what if they had spent $500 billion instead? What would football look like? And could one tournament actually change the future of an entire planet? To understand this scenario, we first need to understand how crazy reality already was. The 2022 World Cup in Qatar became the most expensive World Cup ever. New roads, new airports, and entire metro systems, luxury hotels, massive stadiums built from scratch. The country transformed itself in less than a decade, and the world watched. Over 5 billion people followed the tournament. But now, imagine Qatar deciding that $220 billion wasn't enough. Imagine they wanted to create something the world could never forget. So they double the budget, then double it again, until the bill reaches $500 billion. The first thing to change would be the stadiums. Forget traditional arenas. With unlimited money, Qatar could build floating stadiums in the Persian Gulf, stadiums bigger than entire downtown districts, transparent roofs stretching for kilometers, artificial weather systems controlling temperature. No matter how hot it gets outside, every seat could include augmented reality technology. Fans wouldn't just watch football, they would experience it. Imagine seeing player stats floating above the pitch in real time. Imagine choosing your own camera angle from your seat. The stadium itself would become a technological wonder. Tourists would visit it decades after the tournament ended, just like people visit the pyramids today. Now let's make things even crazier. What if Qatar decided to bring every fan to the World Cup? Free flights, free transportation, free hotels. Millions of people who could never afford a World Cup suddenly become part of it. Attendance records would shatter. Cities would become giant international festivals. Every street would feel like a World Cup final, people from hundreds of cultures meeting in one place. The World Cup would stop being a tournament. It would become a global festival, humanity gathering around a single event, the largest gathering of people ever assembled. But here's where things get interesting. Spending $500 billion isn't really spending, it's investing. Because football is a money machine, broadcasters would fight for rights, sponsors would throw billions at FIFA, tourism would explode, airlines would make fortunes, hotels would be booked for years, restaurants, stores, and businesses would thrive. The World Cup would dominate every screen on Earth, every phone, every television, every social media platform. The tournament could generate economic activity far beyond the original investment, and Qatar would become the center of global attention for decades. A budget this large could push technology forward, AI referees eliminating controversial decisions, no more arguments, no more controversy, instant injury diagnosis systems. Doctors would know the problem in seconds. Smart stadiums powered entirely by renewable energy. Stadiums that produce more energy than they consume. Autonomous transportation everywhere. High-speed transit connecting every venue. The World Cup could become a testing ground for the future, and the technologies created here could shape the next generation. But there's another question. Would this still be football, or would it become something else? When money reaches this level, priorities change. The conversation stops being about football and starts being about budgets. The World Cup was created to unite people through a simple game. 22 players, one ball, one dream. Would $500 billion improve that dream, or distract from it? And that's the real question. Because if Qatar spent $500 billion on a World Cup, it could build the greatest sporting event in human history. The most advanced stadiums, the biggest crowds, the most incredible technology. But in the end, football became the world's game for a reason. Not because of money, not because of stadiums, not because of technology. Because anywhere on Earth, a kid can kick a ball and dream of becoming a world champion. Maybe that's something no amount of money can improve. So what do you think? Would a $500 billion World Cup be football's greatest achievement, or its biggest mistake? Let me know in the comments.